Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Trails to Azure. We are on another day, on our second day of our cryptid investigation. And of course, we begin with all of that with another round around Crossbell, talking to everyone, seeing if they have something different to say, and of course, doing all the requests that have opened up for us. We also know that there is going to be a third day, because we know we then have to go to St. Ursula to get a last dish of one of our other quests. So, for now, let's begin our rounds and see how far we can get. I've been thinking, is moving out and living on my own really the best call? On one hand, I want it more than anything right now, but on the other, I'm worried I'd get lonely. Well, that is the thing if you're gonna live by yourself. It is gonna be lonely in the beginning as you get used to living on your own, but I do think it's a good decision to make. You'll learn a lot about it. Care for a balloon? No need to be shy. Even adults can appreciate a little piece of childlike splendor. Haven't you ever felt like turning your brain off and reliving those days when you were young and naive? Well, I like a balloon, but what do you do with it once you have it? Feet? Keep your speed to a minimum, please. Your corporation helps keep our city safe. Oh, I'm spotting fewer cars with international license plates lately. Do you suppose it's due to the mayor's independence proposal? Well, whatever the case may be, there's still plenty of traffic to direct and accidents to prevent. Yeah, maybe all the international people are getting out of here in case a conflict starts up. Beep beep. Daddy's thinking about cars again. He really likes them. Aren't all cars just fantastic? It's too bad us regular folk can't get a hold of them, with how expensive they are. Oh well. It might be a tad unrealistic to expect price to get cut in half, but even just a 20% drop would be much more affordable. Well, cars are relatively new, I think, here in this world. But yeah, in a few years, a few new developments, I'm sure it will get much cheaper. Yeah, now this is my gut feeling, but it seems most of the younger generation is leaning towards us going independent. Kids these days, they know nothing to the strife some of us have to live through, nor just how serious the ramifications of this will be. Yeah, but that's because they haven't lived through all those years and seen different politics like influences. So it's harder. We're going to do more sightseeing today, but therefore that we gotta head over to the Orbital store to stock up on photo quartz. Oh, my boyfriend and I were snapping pictures of Orgus Tower from all over town yesterday. We ended up using 2 whole photo squads before we even realized it. Flavor is important, sure, but when it comes to culinary arts, presentation is what really pushes a dish over the bar. Looks like complete and total innovation doesn't count for much though. As far as the theme of the showdown goes, I think I'll stick to putting my spin on a tried and true classic for now. I've never liked calling things classic. All it tells me is that it's old and unimaginative. But I guess I have to be pretty delicious to become a classic in the first place, huh? Very much true. Something becomes a classic because it's true and tested. That's what it is. Arkansas is debuting their revival performance the day after tomorrow. I want the tickets, but everything for the next 2 months sold out in a blink of an eye. So Theo's attitude towards work changed recently. It's almost like he's an entirely new person. Most notably, he stopped falling head over heels for every attractive lady that walks through the door. Good. So Theo used to be only passionate about picking on women, but now his dedication is turning to cooking. Good. Like he's learning to be the way of a chef. It's about time, to be honest. But if he is working the ground, he might as well clean up the table upstairs. Nona's improvement considerably compared to when she first started. At this rate, we'll have to hire a new waitress so I can bring her into the line full time. Yeah, oh well, if she is that good, Theo just has to work the floor all the time. Some basil, pepper, and just a pinch of salt. Great, now the meat is perfectly seasoned. I have to let it marinate for 30 minutes, so I'll chop the veggies in the meantime. Yeah, sounds like a real professional chef already. Oh, shut up! You're quitting your diet. What, you just have the cute face already? You're gonna dish me like that? Oh, we are so not besties anymore. You know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm done. No more dieting. I'm going to find a man who likes me for being me. Alright, guessing these two friends have a little bit of a, let's say, rough patch. I can't help but overhear chatter from our customers about the pros and cons of independence. While many citizens support it, many others fear Erebonian and Calvardian retaliation. Yeah, which is a genuine real fear, yeah. Because you have no idea what they're gonna do. Well, arguments about Crossbell's independence are getting more contentious by the day. Not only that, my family in Remiferia wants me to go back to them before the situation here boils over. But the thing is, I always thought of Crossbell as my second home. So for now, I've decided to wait until the results of the referendum before I return home. I'll always think of Crossbell as my second home. So for now, I decided to wait. Oh, it feels like Scott is a lot busier than usual these days. Good luck out there, Scott. Your future wife is rooting for you. We're really cute if we get to see them get married. Let's see. What did my family put on the shopping list today? Since I'm still living off my parent at my age, I need to support them any way I can. Even if it's something as simple as shopping. It is true. If you do live at home, at least make sure you do a contribution, right? So yeah, he's doing it the right way. Oh, welcome to Legion Foods. If you're looking for the best ingredients in town, you've come to the right place. We're offering a fantastic deal on Calvardian spring onions today. Is there special Calvardian spring onions? I think they're just normal spring onions. You're just trying to get me to buy them, isn't it? Yeah, don't see them too quickly. I would have bought them otherwise. This upcoming independence referendum has me on edge. Sure, it's only to gauge public opinion, but it'll still have ramification. As a Calvardian citizen, I can't participate, but that hasn't stopped me from mulling it over. Of course, it's so important, everybody should be at least thinking about it. Yeah, let's buy 10 more, just to make sure we always in the numbers. This would be nice to have, because we have 20 of these, which is more than enough. I would love to have 20 of these as well, but it might be a bit too early. Because there are 2,000 apiece, and that's really expensive at this point yet. If everyone's as carefree as my mom, we'd all be a lot happier. We'd also probably get annexed by Erebonian in the blink of an eye, though. Oh, my husband had a scowl stamped on his face since the independence proposal. Apparently he has a lot of thoughts on the subject. But he can go ahead and do the untangling for the both of us. Me? I'm going to shop until I drop. Yeah, and nothing else will bother her in the meantime. Here are the shoes you ordered, Mr. Dudley. Thank you, Hanson, my good man. I'd like to try them out right away, if I... And what do you think you're doing here, SSS? Well, Well, we're gonna ask you the same thing. Those kicks look pretty costly. Your special ordered shoes? What brand are they from? I'll thank you not to lump me in with those logo-chasing imbeciles. These are custom made. Wow, you're a tough customer to please. You get your loafers made to order? I just buy whatever's affordable. And exactly what nonsense are you trying to squeak out, Bennings? Huh? You sound as though you're suggesting that handmade artisanal leather shoes are frivolous. Well, that's where you're wrong, Junior. I never said that. Leather shoes are more complex and profound than a rookie like you could ever comprehend. The more you wear them, the more they conform to the shape of your feet, and the deeper their rich texture becomes. Only a fool would imply such harmony and bliss could be even remotely attained via bargain bin footwear. This feels needlessly over-dramatized. I've never seen a Dagadovly so passionate about anything outside of work. My apologies for the tangent. Returning to the original topic at hand, I'm here on a well-deserved break. And I'd like to enjoy it before I have to get to my next engagement, so please, make yourself scarce. Okay. Mr. Dudley is one of my regular customers. He orders multiple custom shoes a year. His passion, not to mention his particular taste, allows him to glean the complexity of fine men's footwear, much like myself. I can imagine that. If you don't mind, I would very much like to try on the shoes I ordered. Don't interrupt me again if you know what's good for you. I am very much inclined to interrupt him again. Oh, why exactly do we want independence anyway? I can't really wrap my head around these kinds of issues. Oh yeah, I guess I could always ask Southwark to explain it to me. If you don't understand it, asking a friend might be a good idea. It's time I started picking my brain on what gift to give my wife next. I brought her a brooch last time, so maybe I should step up my game and get her a fleshy ring. Hey, go for it, why not? Any gift should be appreciated. The value of an accessory differs from person to person. For instance, my granddaughter gave me a handmade brooch the other day. While it may not be professionally crafted, to me it's more valuable than the rarest jewel you could ever find. Yeah, because it's a gift from your granddaughter, and that makes it all the more special. Alright. Oh, I try to dress accordingly to my mood before leaving the house, but sometimes my mood depends on how I dress. So, if you ever find yourself feeling down, try adding more vivid colors to your outfit. You just might shine bright enough to drown out the dull, gloomy blues. It is true, if you're feeling a bit down, having some nice clothes on, really nice, neat, ironed out and stuff like that, does actually make you feel better and more organized. It does help sometimes. Ooh. Alright, let's check the roof, see if anyone's there. I like it up on the roof and all, but it's as fun as when there's not actually anything up there. They should put in a food court or something. How cool would that be? Oh, I came up here to take a break and stayed a little longer than I meant to. The breeze here is so nice that it blew away not just my post-shopping fatigue, but my sense of time too. Yeah, I can imagine that being here on the rooftop would be amazing. Amazing view, you can see almost the entirety of Crossbell and the range beyond it. Yeah, it's a good location, but the kid's right. I think a small food court would not necessarily be a bad idea to have there. Would definitely generate some income. Alright, one more store. Oh, the Reinford company sells a plethora of products, most of which features greater power and storage capacity. The Vroom company, on the other hand, prioritizes functionality and reasonable prices. It's as if the two manufacturers reflect the character of their home countries. Amusing, isn't it? The Reinfeldt company focused on high output and greater storage capacity, while the Verne company priced the convenience and fair prices. As if two manufacturers reflect the character of their home country is amazing, isn't it? Well, I tried asking Chaco and Wendy for their opinions on my plan to remodel the store, but they dismissed it before I even had the chance to finish explaining. Honest to ideas, I don't think it's all that bad of an idea. I'm interviewing for a job here at the store today. The wait has me on pin and needles. Yeah, and honestly, I don't hope you get it. You drive your daughter crazy. Oh, what the heck is my dad doing here? And why won't he stop fidgeting? I have a bad feeling about this. You should. Oh, Vernon wanted to remodel the store to look like the old workshop out of respect for the old engineering that goes into our products. What he doesn't realize is that the store's finally out of the red, and with a loyal customer base to boot, remodeling would just confuse them again. I'm happy he wants to honor our craft and all, but this is a pretty short-sighted way of going about it. Then this is a very logical and from a commercial point also extremely valid. So if she explains like this, how can he disagree with her? Seeing what level 2s are. So we could enhance some evades. And that, not so much. Yeah, we could of course upgrade Tio and Wazzy and maybe rotate them back into the team for a while. Take a look at all these orbital appliances. Aren't they gorgeous? Sure, they're basically the same, but their aesthetic differs wildly by manufacturer. Yeah, I'm sure with new technology, it's the same as it's in real life. Always people that are amazed by it. Not only do they want to watch it, they want to own it. And I get it. Can't get in there. Crossbell is enormous. Honestly, I should have expected it. I do wish I bought a guidebook at the very least. Apparently, someone jumped onto the roof of the train from the platform yesterday. I'm one of the biggest train buffs in town, so I get the appeal, but respecting the rules of the train, of the rails, always comes first. What if their crazy stunt got a passenger hurt? Or worse yet, the train? I swear, the nerve of some people. Trust me, someone jumping on a train, probably trying to escape from someone, or watch the beginning of Final Fantasy VII a little bit too much. Maybe we shouldn't. The station workers are just gonna get mad at us. Oh, let's play hide and seek in a train station today. I call it first. This is Crossbell Station. We don't have any business here right now. True. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Alright. We had some packages that were delivered to the wrong addresses earlier. Technically, it's the fault of whoever wrote them down, but I still should have noticed that something was amiss. If it weren't for my other deliveries, I'd be able to lend a hand. I can't help but feel like I'm letting them down. So I'm guessing someone is here that has the mission. No one upstairs. Of course. Excuse me, are you with the Capua delivery service? Yeah, I am. Who are you guys? We're with the special support section of the Crossbell Police. We came to speak with you about the support request you submitted. Ah, so it's you. Well, thanks a bunch. I'm in a real bind here. The job's gonna take a while to complete though. Are you ready to start now? We are ready. Of course, you can count on us. The request was about some misdelivered packages, right? Yeah, and boy, were they misdelivered. See, our company delivers parcels to places all over the continent. but unfortunately we made an error while we were here in Crossbell. Several packages were listed with incorrect addresses by our staff and sent to the wrong locations. Oh, that does sound like a problem. How does a mistake happen to multiple packages at once? Well, our president is a little bit of a scatterbrain, to put it nicely. This isn't the first time something like this has happened either. One time he even mixed up a shipping label with a letter from a friend. Oh wow, doesn't sound like your president's the most meticulous person out there. I won't deny it, but he's a good man, and when we had nowhere to go, he took us in with open arms. Oh, sorry. I got a little bit off topic here. Long story short, I need you to help straighten out all the packages that ended up at the wrong addresses. We usually have a local shipping company handle the cargo once it gets to Crossbell State, so I have no idea where I was going. Sounds simple enough. Do you happen to have a beat on where all those errant deliveries are? Oh yes, according to what I have here, a partial intent of a St. Ursula hospital ended up at Mainz Inn. What Ursula received instead was originally bound for a private home in the residential district. I'd like for you to go to each of those places and reclaim the misdelivered package and get them to the rightful recipients. Oh, you're also gonna need these. Fragile and shipping label. I take it it's the package that was supposed to go to Dr. Ziegel? Or D. Ziegel, yes. And this shipping label was supposed to be attached to the one that was delivered to St. Ursula's. That's right. So first off, deliver this parcel to their Ziegel Inn. Then the package there should go to St. Ursula Hospital, which means you'll have to swap them with... You know, the more I try to sort this out in my head, the more confusing it gets. So basically we just need to exchange and deliver the packages in order. Yes, do that. Sorry, I know this is a mess, but I'm counting on your help. Don't worry, I think we can handle it. Let's start by going to their Ziegel in Mainz first. This is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? Package pandemonium started. I'd appreciate if you could go to each place that received an incorrect parcel and exchange them for the right one. You can start with Mainz first, then St. Ursula Hospital, and finally the home in the residential district. For the last one, you should be able to find the address on that shipping label I gave you. Sorry, I know it's a lot, but I'm counting on you though. We'll manage. Well, I've gotten to know the folks from Capua Delivery Service pretty well. They're a prospering private shipping company, and from what I've seen, they do some pretty good business. Gotta say, the future's looking bright for them. Yeah, we know how they got started, so yeah, their future is definitely looking a lot brighter than before. Well, this does serve as an immigration office and baggage check-in. If you need to package delivered abroad, why not ask that Capua Delivery Service crew member over there? They become quite popular, not to mention they deliver packages faster than standard airmail. Yeah, 'cause that's how fast their ship is. Oh, since the independence proposal, I've noticed foreigners are more concerned about Crossbell's affairs than ever. Some have even called to cancel their travel plans to the state. I understand their perspectives, but as a Crossbellan, it does sadden me. Yeah, cause there might be something on the horizon, but at this point we just don't know. Alright, so I would go to St. Ursula, but apparently this whole package affair states that we need to go to St. Ursula and to other locations as well, and what we're going to get from the early location would also help us at St. Ursula. So I'm thinking about now just getting in the car and head over to Mainz. So we might go across Crossbell a little bit, crisscross all over the map, but don't worry, eventually we'll get there. And of course, as last, the Doll Studio. But that is when we've done all the other quests before that. And while we're here, we might as well make it an official round. Oh, Arkansas will be debuting their revival performance the day after tomorrow. I'd love to see one of their shows someday, even if just once. Maybe I'd sit next to a fine gentleman with an appreciation for theatre, and we could strike up a romantic chat. I can't tell if she's more interested in the show or the imaginary gentleman. The imaginary gentleman. I'm almost certain. Kimmy's been playing with Hoffman's kiddo all day. He's the only kid her age around these parts, so I don't care if they're friends. But they're not gonna end up, you know, dating or anything, right? Who knows what will happen in the future between Kimmy and the Dalek boy? I better give Hoffman a stern warning about this. Yeah, because that's his little girl. You better be careful. I'm sure everything will turn out okay. Really. They're just kids having a bit of fun. Oh, what in the world could Alec be yelling his head off about this time? Honestly, how did that child turn out so rowdy? Well, must be taking after his dad. Echo! Echo! I love my daddy! My daddy! It really does yell the same thing back at you. Does that mean there's another Kimmy on the other side of the mountain? Aren't echoes the coolest? What should I yell next? Well, I'm sure you can find out some words you could try out and have some fun with that. Well, Gens dragged me by my collar to the inn yesterday. You'll never guess what happened next. Luca, of all people, came over to cheer me up. Thank the goddess. She doesn't hate me after all. I never imagined Luca of all people would go out of her way to cheer me up. Thank the goddess, she doesn't hate me after all. Yeah, and that was his greatest concern. I'm not gonna say that something's gonna happen between those two, but at least the air has been cleared. At least from his perspective. Thanks again. Well, Marlowe's finally back in the groove of things now. The guy's lucky he has me to look out for him. Oh, definitely. Because what would you be without friends? Oh, my grandpa's been pressuring me to get hitched. I get that she's happy about me not skipping work anymore, but marriage? That's more trouble than it's worth. I can't provide for a family the way Max and Chief Hoffman do. Besides, I prefer to go at things solo. My grandma can push all the way she wants. Marriage is more trouble than I'm willing to deal with. Besides, I prefer to go things solo. Amy's the one with the boyfriend fever. Let her handle it. Hey, if she's looking for a boyfriend and your grandma is pushing you to get married, I see a connection between the two. Marlowe's has been awfully cheery today. Just yesterday, he looked like his entire world had fallen apart. Well, as long as he's working hard, what do I care either way? Bit harsh. Yes, he's your employee and you are the boss, so he should do his job and listen, but a little bit compassion should go a long way. Alright. I've got to mine as much as I can today. Might as well aim for tomorrow's quota too, while I'm at it. Yeah, but don't hit your quota too much, or that would not be a quota, but the next normal. Alright, that's the mine. The only thing we have left is the mayor and everything downtown before heading towards the inn itself. I had no idea there was a doll studio off the midpoint to the mountain path, and I live here. The guy who owns it never comes up to our village either. I've got to be some kind of oddball to live in the mountains by yourself like that. Oddball, or just very, very private. Oh, it's been a tough task finding potential spouses for our miners. Then again, Gens, Marlowe and Luggy don't seem to have any intention of settling down anytime soon. Perhaps the new generation doesn't value marriage as much as mine did. Well, yeah, there is definitely a difference in how they see marriage, sure. Well, the Braziers have been noticeably busier than normal these days. We've had to think twice before submitting any non-urgent requests. I was told that they're investigating the large mysterious monster that have been emerging throughout the state. gives me this horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. I fear something wicked may be brewing in Crossbell. On that, I think we can agree that there is something going on, most definitely. But the more important question, what is it? What is making the hair on our neck stand up? Because to be honest, we don't know. Oh, Lucky seems to be living his life to the fullest now that he's gotten his act together at work. Now all he has to do is find himself a wife, and then I can finally rest easy. Though I suppose I shouldn't get my hopes up anytime soon. I'll finally be able to rest easy once Lucky finds himself a wife. Though I suppose I shouldn't get my hopes up too soon. True, cause he might need to go to the city to find a proper girlfriend. Let alone a wife. My husband has been strangely eager about going to work lately. It must be Guns and Lucky's enthusiasm rubbing off on him. He's head out for the mine so early in the morning that I can barely get his lunch ready in time. Grant's and Lucky's renewed zeal for their jobs is rubbing off on Max too. He sets out for the mine so early in the morning that I can barely get his lunch ready in time. He just wants to get it done. Alright, that's it for the entire town. Just the only thing left, there's Eagle Inn. Of course, the first to check if there's anybody new staying here. There is, that's the person we expected. Mr. Nielsen? Is it you, Lloyd? Yes, hello again. I'm glad you remember me. I never forget the voices of those I've had the pleasure of interviewing. Is this man? Yeah, he's the famous journo they met a little while back. Oh, that's right, Marshal Nielsen. Oh, what brings you to Mainz, if I may ask? I have an interview scheduled with Mayor Bixen, as it so happens. I'll be asking him for his account on Mainz's origins as a Settian mining village, as well as how it has changed in the modern day. With the topic of independence looming over Crossbell, I thought it pertinent to reflect on the state's history. Not a bad idea. Well, that's a very insightful perspective to have, for the lack of a better phrase. I'll consider it a compliment. My circumstances do give me a penchant for taking things the long way around. But enough about me. I heard you contributed to stopping the terrorist attack at the trade conference. With that in mind, I have the urge to interview you about the matter. Would you mind terribly? You see, there are several linking questions I have regarding the motivations behind the attack. I suspect speaking with you all will help me uncover the meaning of it all. The meaning behind the terrorist attack? That may be difficult to divulge. Theo's right. Information about that case is restricted to members of the state government and police force. Even if we do take your questions, we'll be pretty limited in what we can disclose. That's understandable, and well within my expectations. Nevertheless, I believe there is still merit to be had in discussing the matter. What do you say? Our last interview with him was definitely insightful. Participating in a second one could be a good idea. If we only had the time. An entirely new quest. Well, guessing while we're here, we might as well lend a hand. Alright, we'll agree to your interview. Splendid. Thank you for your time. Let's begin right away then. Inside scoop, the terrorist attack. Thank you all again for agreeing to this interview. Our topic of discussion is the recent terrorist attack that occurred at the West Samaria Trade Conference. To begin, I would like to confirm the identity of the perpetrators involved. Could you do that for me, Lloyd? So, who were the terrorists that attacked the trade conference? Well, technically both. each came for their own side and got, well, arrested from each side? Well, the two terrorist cells from within the mayor's powers were working in conjunction with one another. One was the Imperial Liberation Front from Erebonian. The other was comprised of members of Calvard's anti-immigration faction. That's right. Those were indeed the parties responsible. I'll refrain from delivering you into the backgrounds and founding principles. However, it is worth noting that the two groups have no history of collaboration, and yet they mounted a united front against the conference. I have given to understand that they were abetted by a so-called society that had also been operating covertly in liberal. Yeah, the Society of Ouroboros. Thinking back, the terrorists were making use of archaisms at the trade conference. Oh, do you know the society, Mr. Nielsen? Well, I've come across their name before, yes. They're a bit of an enigma, to be certain. Take your work has led you learning of them as well. Well, we've heard a thing or two. And the more we hear, the shadier they seem to be. At any rate, we can say definitely that their rule aims are completely shrouded in mystery. Trying to deduce their objective at this stage would be entirely in vain. I'm inclined to agree with that. So let us move on to the next topic then. I would like to review the intentions and perspectives of the two major powers in regard to the attack. My sources tell me that each nation employed outside forces in secret. Both of those forces contributed greatly to the resolution of the incident. What I find peculiar is that although the Empire and the Republic foresaw the attack, they elected not to prevent it, leaving both terror groups at large. I have to wonder why that is. What do you suppose they were trying to achieve, Lloyd? I don't think it's to force a major quad-tour sign. I'm curious, there's no clear answer for me in this one. And they're about containing opposing political factions. That just wouldn't work. Force may a quad to assign, contain opposing political faction, expose each terrorist group. Just guess? Well, each terrorist group is backed by a political faction and stands at odds with its respective country's leader. I think their top priority was to keep those two opposing factions in check. In Chancellor Osborne's case, he was looking to put pressure on Erebonian's noble faction. As for President Rocksmith, he was looking to deter anyone who agrees with Calvard's radical nationalist. I agree. This is the only logical explanation for why they allowed the terrorists to remain at large. As a result, the public tide has turned in their favor. Citizens from either countries are raising their voices against the aforementioned factions. Political leverage then. What's the end goal? On a separate note, Lloyd, you identified this as their top priority, did you not? I find that curious. Do you mean to imply that they had another objective in mind as well? Well, Lloyd. Yeah, I can imagine one other objective. I also think it was to gain a foothold for their advancement into Crossbell. Oh? Crossbell is their crosshair, so to speak. That much was clear as the day when both leaders offered to station their troops in Crossbell at the conference. Yes, and the terror attack fueled the narrative that Crossbell cannot keep its borders safe by itself. That only places further pressure on the state to accept their proposal. The non-aggression pact that Liberal introduced has essentially lost all power as a deterrent at this point. Moreover, Crossbell's independence proposal has placed it square in the public eye of both the Empire and the Republic, thereby redirecting the attention of either country's citizens away from their domestic conflicts and discontent. So even that was by design. I've heard of the two birds with one stone, but this is more like downing a flock with a boulder. Ah, well then. I see you've all considered this in just as much detail as I have. If you don't mind, I would like to move us on to our final topic. It is apparent that the two countries had a mutual understanding as far as the attack was concerned. Do you believe this to be evidence of a greater alliance between them? Have Erebonian and Calvard formed an alliance through their handling of the terrorist attack? Out of the question, a temporary one or a permanent one? If he does have one, it's going to be permanent or temporary. Oh, I'm just going to go with a temporary one. Could they have formed a temporary alliance? Is that possible? No, it cannot be that simple. A permanent alliance? Is that possible? They would be unstoppable. Wait, no, what am I thinking? There's no way that could ever happen. Then both are just out of the question. Didn't think it would be that. No, I think it's out of the question. Ultimately, they both have the same objective. Sole possession of Crossbell. Ah, yes, that's exactly right. In the end, the incident at the conference was no more than a one-time instance of them acting in lockstep. Furthermore, Crossbell is simply too valuable for either country to let it remain as a simple buffer zone. There's no room for allyship if each aspire to take it for themselves. Their penal actions tipped out their hand as to their conflicting motivations. Well, for a blind man, your aim is impressive. So, this was all just a warm-up before the real thing. Eventually, they're going to go at each other's guns blazing. Yes, and I imagine the war of intelligence they're waging will only worsen from here. The increasing activity from the Jaegers and criminal syndicates in Crossbell can likely be attributed to that as well. Unfortunately as it is, I would not be surprised to see a resurgence of inexplicable incidents such as those from Crossbell's past. Inexplicable incidents? What do you mean? No, never mind. Forgive me for speaking out of turn. That aside, I believe we've sorted out a number of matters regarding the terror attacks. Asking for this interview was a wise decision indeed. Thank you for your time. Likewise. This was very enlightening. I think we understand the current situation more clearly now. It was almost more informative than I was prepared to handle. I'm glad to hear you found it beneficial. It would be wonderful if we could chat like this again sometime. Future circumstances permitted, of course. Of course. We'll be more than happy to. Inside scoop, the terrorist attack. Alright. Thank you for indulging me with an interview today, SSS. I would love to chat again should the opportunity arise. I'm sure it will at some point. Alright, we already checked. Hey, if this isn't the kids from the police, you all looking to book a room with us? Not quite. We came to ask about a case we're working on. Have you received any strange packages recently by any chance? Strange packages. Oh, as a matter of fact, the most peculiar delivery came in earlier. Why anyone thought to send it to us, I couldn't even begin to guess. Do you happen to know something about it? Jackpot. Well, actually, Lloyd explained the situation regarding the misdelivered packages. Ah, so that's what happened. So the package we received was supposed to go to St. Ursula then. No wonder it was chock full of scalpels and such. I can only imagine how disconcerting it was when they suddenly arrived. No, you do not know the half of it. Luca got so spooked that she was hell-bent on throwing them out with the trash tomorrow. Oh, it's a good thing we made in time. Here, let me give you the package you were supposed to have received. Lloyd handed over a fragile package. Oh, thank you very much. Now, let's have a look-see. Yep, these are the Liberian drinking glass I ordered a while back. I'm positive this package is ours. Ah, glad to be of service. Now then, could please have a package that was misdelivered to you? Oh, of course. Give me just a moment. Here you go. I trust you get that to the hospital where it should be. Thanks, we will. Alright, let's drop by St. Ursula Hospital next. We should inquire at the reception desk. That we should. Oh, I still don't get what all the fuss was about yesterday. I mean, I did what Gans asked and went up to Marlowe and said, "Can you listen? Just cheer up already." Well, it's what it is. Back to the delivery. Alright. Okay, I think we have the entirety of Mainz done with this. So it's time for us to head back to Crossbell and then straight over to St. Ursula's, where we're gonna start our next episode. So for now, I'll leave it here, and I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we continue our rounds around Crossbell. See you then. Bye bye.